following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. A virtual slugfest on the Back Bay of Boston sets us up for an afternoon of baseball. The Angels went up 2-0 in the first off of Bill Lee. Joe Rudy doubled home Bobby Grich to make it 1-0. Then Ron Jackson, a ground ball on a fielder's choice. 2-0 after one. California had chances in the second, couldn't do anything. Then back came the Red Sox in the second. Jack Brohammer singled home Carlton Fisk, 2-1 California. Freddie Lynn in the third hit an RBI single to score Rick Burleson. 2-2. And in the fourth, Carlton Fisk, a solo shot, his 8th of the year, to make it 3-2 Sox after 4. But then in the fifth, Joe Rudy, a solo homer to make it 3-3. In the bottom of the fifth, Freddie Lynn doubled home Rick Burleson to make it 4-3. And then Jim Rice hit his 23rd of the year, a 2-run shot to make it 6-3. Can the Red Sox bullpen hold it? Kind of like your daughter standing in line to get something to eat. No, she can't, because the Red Sox pen blew it. Brian Dowding doubled home Dave Chalk in the 8th to make it 6-4. Jack Brohammer sac fly made it 7-4 in the bottom of the 8th, and back came the Angels. Joe Rudy doubles home Bobby Grich. Ron Jackson with a 2-run single to tie the game at 7. To extras we go. The Red Sox had 2 hits and a walk in the 11th and couldn't score. And then the Angels broke it open. Brian Downing, a double to score Dave Chalk, 8-7. Kenny Landreau with an RBI single. Then Bobby Grich with an RBI single. California 10, Boston 7. Bill Campbell takes a loss. Bob Stanley blows the save. Dave LaRoche, he'll take the win, getting Tom Griffin off the hook. It's the Angels and the Red Sox next on Retro Sports Network. As Retro Sports Network presents 1978 Major League Baseball replay. From Fenway Park in Boston, it is the Boston Red Sox and the California Angels on this Tuesday, June 13th, 1978. And the game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best podcast on the web for your sports simulation replay needs. Find us on Spreaker, Spotify, and iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. It's not a good pitching matchup for the Red Sox. Jim Wright versus Chris Knapp next.
Play ball!
And on a 73-degree night in the Back Bay of Boston, we welcome you to the broadcast. It is windy. There, of course, is no big old press box blowing it, holding the wind around, so it's blowing straight out to right center field at 16 miles an hour. Old Glory behind the plate is whipping right around, and oh boy. Well, Jim Wright wasn't a bad pitcher. The Red Sox needed this one because they looked like the Red Sox of old. 17 hits, 7 runs, and the bullpen couldn't hold bleep. And so there you have it. The Angels and the Royals are fighting for first place in the American League West. The Red Sox are trying now to get in that chase with 4 other teams in the American League East. Should be a fun one for you tonight. Jim Rice is at the DH position, Carl Yastrzemski in left. And so the Angels and the Red Sox, good luck if you're a left-handed hitter. The righties just love that wall. And I'm trying to get the standings all squared away to begin with. So when I show them, they'll look fine. The Angels, by the way, have a half-game lead over Kansas City in the West. And Robbie got an ad for Wendy's. And this is not a podcast, it's a game. Good morning, Elon. How are you? And Big Clue, welcome aboard. I will send you a note on Action PC Football, but I've got a lot of games up. You can judge for yourself, but I will talk to you a bit about that later. So, Jim Wright not the speaker, is 2-2 with an ERA of 4.55. For the 32-27 Boston Red Sox, this is his fourth start. He has made 2 complete games already in his 9th appearance overall. He is a fastball pitcher at 87 in his standard. And Ratcast has the idea. Wendy's. We had eggs and bacons and English muffin today. His last start, Jim Wright, was Christmas treat on May 28th against the Detroit Tigers. He went 4 2/3 innings. He allowed 14 hits. 14. He allowed 9 runs, 7 earned. He walked 4 and struck out 4. So overall, 29 2/3 innings, 39 hits, 18 runs, 15 earned. He has walked 7 and struck out 15. And his ERA jumped from 2.88 to 4.55, which is what my cholesterol would do if I had too many Frosties. How you doing, Mark Forsberg? Yep, that's the 20 version of the game, Elon. And so Wright's got his work cut out, although he does have 135 pitches in his arsenal. So we'll see. So Kenny Landreau will lead off for the Angels in left field. Or right field, rather. Bobby Grich will bat second and play second. Lyman Bostock is in center. He'll hit third. Joe Rudy, who had the big game last night in left, will clean up. Ron Fairley is at first. He'll bat fifth. Ron Jackson slides to third, so no Carney Lansford tonight. Tony Solita is a DH. No Don Baylor for the Angels tonight. Dave Chalk is at short. He'll hit eighth, and Brian Downing is the catcher and bat ninth. And we are told that Wright threw a 2-hit shutout on this day. I'm not surprised with that lineup. Fairley and Solata, and no Baylor, and no Lansford. Wow. And Mr. Ratcast found the Z on his keyboard. Carly Yastrzemski's a left. He's a 9 and a 6. Freddie Lynn is a 10 and a 6 in center. And Dwight Evans is a 10 and a 10 in right. At third, Butch Hobson a 6 out of 10. Rick Burleson a 9 at short. Jerry Remy back in the lineup. He'll be a 6 at second. And George the Boomer Scott is a 9 at first base. Carlton Fisk is an 8 and a 7. And Jim Wright, not much of a fielder, too, is not good in this game. And that's the Red Sox defense for you. Landreau at 189. A homer and 9 RBI. Wendy's does sound good. Tomorrow we're doing the Dunks thing after Aaron's. Pitch to Landreau is a ground ball to Remy over to Scott, and that's how this one starts. Evans' arm, by the way, is an 8 out of 10. All ratings for the fielding are out of 10. 10 being great, 1 being me. And Bobby Grich steps to the plate at 291. 5 homers and 29 RBI. Pitch from Wright to Grich is right back to Jim. Puts the glove up and there's 2 away for Lyman Bostock at 310. No homers, 2 triples, and 28 RBI. Angels half-game lead over the Royals in the American League West as we start play on the 13th of June. Tomorrow's Flag Day, by the way. You're going, Ron, tomorrow is April 3rd. No, tomorrow's Flag Day. Pitch to Bostock is a line drive to Hobson, and that will retire the side. So the Angels go in order. Half an inning in the books. California, nothing. Here come the Red Sox. So Chris Knapp is having himself a mighty good year. He's 8-3 with an ERA of 2.88. This is his 13th start of the year. He is an extreme fly ball pitcher, which might do the Red Sox some good. He's a fastball pitcher, and that fastball tops out at 92. He last pitched June 8th against Oakland. In 6 2/3 innings, he allowed 7 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He didn't walk anybody. He's got decent control and struck out 8 in order to pick up his 8th win. I'm doing fine today, Robbie. So in 81 1/3 innings, he's allowed 75 hits, 30 runs, 26 earned. He has walked 20 and struck out 49. On the third in California, he went 7 2/3 against the Red Sox, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. He walked 3 and struck out 4. and got the win. And the lineup he'll face, Rick Burleson will lead it off at short. Jerry Remy is at second. He'll bat second. Jim Rice is the DH. He'll hit third. Carl Yastrzemski cleans up in left. Carlton Fisk, the catcher behind the plate. Freddie Lynn is in center field. He'll bat sixth. George the Boomer Scott at first will bat seventh. Dwight Evans will be in right and bat eighth. And Butch Hobson is at third. And he'll bat ninth right through 13 pitches. How you doing, Mr. Mike? Defensively for the Angels, Joe Rudy is a 3 out there with an arm. Lyman Bostic is a 5 and a 6. Kenny Landreau is not good defensively. He's a 3, and I don't remember his arm. Rod Jackson's at third. He's a 3. That's not good. Dave Chalk is a 5 at short. Bobby Grich is a 9 at second. And Ron Fairley is a 5 at first. Downing a 6 and a 5 behind the plate. Knapp, a good fielder. Range-wise, but not percentage-wise, he's an 8 range and an 857 fielding percentage. Rick Burleson has struggled. He's at 195, but he is on a 7-game hitting streak. His 19 RBI, no homers. Pitch to Knapp is strike 3. Rudy, by the way, is a 6 out there and left. Jerry Remy, as the infield or the corners play in for a bunt I'm not going to do, hitting .310 with 8 doubles, 2 triples, and 17 RBI. And it is Bobby Grich and his band of misfit toys out there. Remy pops it up. Downing takes off the mask. And there's 2 out for Jim Rice, who's having an MVP year at .337. 23 homers and 58 RBI. OPS at 1078. So 2 out here. Bottom of the first. No score. Pitch from Knapp. Rice into left. Papa Jack on the grass will make the catch to retire the side. Red Sox go in order. After 1, no score. And so here are the standings. California has won 5 straight, including that wild 10-7 win last night. They lead the Royals by half a game. Chicago and Minnesota by 6. Ugh. And you see that on the screen. In the East, the Yankees lead the Orioles by a game and a half. Milwaukee has won 3 straight. They've cut the Yankee margin to 3, and the Red Sox are down by 4. So it's a 4-team race right now in the American League East. And Cleveland is now showing up in the standings, which says that Toronto has fallen off the face of the earth. In the National League, the Dodgers and Astros both won, so that margin's half a game. San Francisco's won 6 straight, so they're 10 out. And in the East, Pittsburgh is just kind of fallen on hard times. Philadelphia has cut that margin to a game and a half, and Montreal to 4, but they all lost yesterday. Twitch pays me money. And money's a good thing. So Joe Rudy at .329, 7 homers, and 27 RBI. Pitch from right. Rudy strikes out. He got him on an 0-2 on the inside corner for the first out. All this stuff goes up onto YouTube anyway. But 85% of the people who watch me on demand. True story. Ron Fairley. We haven't had him in a while. Ron's looking a little chunky there for 1978. At .258, 4 homers, and 18 RBI. Right deals, and Fairley sends this one into left. Yastrzemski to the track and makes a catch against the scoreboard. Ouch. That hurt. And so 2 out. Yaz dusts off the hat and says he's okay. And here's Ron Jackson. .348, 3 homers, and 19 RBI. Pitched from right is a ground ball to Burleson. He's in on the grass in front of the bag. He goes to first, and that will retire the side. So Jim Wright looking like Mr. Wright right now. It is no score after 8 and a half. So it'll be Yaz, Fisk, and Lynn. Yeah, go right ahead, Elin. So Yaz at 274, 10 homers, and 27 RBI. Pitch from Knapp, and Yaz sends this one into shallow right. Landro does have a decent arm. He's a 7, and makes the catch, 1 away. Brings up Carlton Fisk, 335, 8 homers, and 34 RBI. So we know that right through a 2-hitter. Is this going to be a pitcher's duel? When I saw the matchup for this, I'm going, not a pitcher's duel. Fisk into left. Rudy will turn and watch it go. So Pudge Fisk with his home run. That's number 9, and it's 1-0 Red Sox. Knapp just kind of hung that one over the plate, and into the screen it went. Brings up Freddie Lynn at 286, 8 homers and 37 RBI. Pitch from Knapp, and Lynn laces that to right, but right at Kenny Landro. So 2 out for George Scott. George is coming back off an injury, hitting .318, 2 homers and 14 RBI. And yep, he was one of those rare players to wear a helmet in the field. He did it in Milwaukee with the Brewers, and of course did it with the Red Sox at first. John Olerud, of course, is the most famous player, outside of a catcher, obviously, to wear the helmet in the field. Pitch to Scott, and the boomer sends that one to the gap in left center. That's going to bounce. Rudy got a late jump, and George has got a double. Brings up Dwight Evans at 202. 8 homers and 30 RBI. So 2 outs. The Sox have 1 in already in a 1-0 ball game. Scott goes, line drive to left. Rudy's there to make the catch. But Boston draws first blood on the solo shot to left center by Pudge Fisk. A run on 2 hits. They leave 1 on. After 2, it's Boston 1, California 0. So Tony Soliata at 342, a homer and 7 RBI. Chalk and Downing to follow. And I did a video last night to update things on the YouTube channel. And so, and a whole bunch of new followers. So here's your chance to get your name read on the show. Snifflin' Gimp or Sniffling Imp, because Gimp is a word too. Thank you very much. Red Fan Rod, who I assume is a fan of the Cleveland Indians. Not. Sean 154. Dougie, or Doug 20091. And TB Polly 71. Thank you all so much for the follow. Tony's at the plate. Right deals. And there's a ground ball past a diving Remy and Burleson for the single. So the first hit for California. And Tony possesses my speed at first. Brings up Chalk, who can bunt. 267, no homers, and 11 RBI. Scott and Hobson play for the bunt. Pitch from right. Chalk does not square. Grounder to Remy. Throws to second for 1. Back to Scott. Chalk can run, and he beat it out. So they get the fielder's choice. That was hit really too hard to be a double play ball. They got the lead runner, and that'll bring up Brian Downing with 1 out. Downing at 241. Thanks, Robbie. A homer and 15 RBI. That wind is now blowing straight out to center field at 16. And so the flagpole in center is blowing right out towards the Mass Pike. Pitch to Downing. Into left center. Back goes Lynn. He'll make the catch. Chalk will go back and hold. Lynn made that catch right against the base of the wall, too. Freddie's got speed. He's a 10 out there, range-wise. And he made the catch. And so 9 batters deep for Jim Wright. 29 pitches, 2 2/3 innings. A hit and a strikeout. Mr. Landreau's 0 for 1. Chalk on first, 2 out, top the third. 1-0 Boston, and Landreau draws ball 4. So Wright slams the ball in his glove on a 3-0 that missed low. So 2 on for the ever-dangerous Bobby Grich. Pitch from Wright, runners go. Ground ball to Remy, deep in the hole. Throws to first, Scott on the bag, and Grich is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. After 2.5, it's the Red Sox 1, the Angels 0. So Butch Hobson played for Bear Bryant at the University of Alabama. Rick Burleson, who eats shards of glass for breakfast, and Jerry Remy will be up for the Red Sox in this inning. Hobson at 239, 7 homers and 31 RBI. Knapp delivers. Hobson pops it up. Papa Jack has it for the out, 1 away. The wind is howling out here now at 23. But there's no threat of any precipitation. Just windy. And so if you're standing on the back end of Fenway, you can smell the sausage and the peppers while you're driving home. Weather ballpark effects for Fenway: lefties a -2 in the batting average. Righties with a wall, +15. Yeah, the hot dog wrappers are flying around, Tribe fan. Lefties, you would think with that 302 down the line and right that they would have an advantage in homers. They don't. Remember, that bullpen area is huge, and it's 380 out to the pins. So it's -21. But the righties can touch that wall. Marked 315 in 1978, 315, and Taylor Swift and I are announcing our engagement next week. 40% higher chance of hitting a homer as a righty, and Taylor has never written a song about me. Knapp through 2 1/3 innings, 32 pitches, 9 batters, 2 hits. A home run and a strikeout. Burleson is 0 for 1. He struck out to start the ballgame. Thanks. My wife is the one that set up the play date for us. Pitch to Rick is a line drive to Chalk, 2 out. Brings up the Rem Dog is 0 for 1. She figured being quarantined with me after being together for 24 years was enough. Pitch to Remy is a ground ball up the middle. Grich behind the bag over to Fairley. For the out to retire the side. No runs. They changed things around here again on the screen. No runs, no hits, and no errors. After 3, Boston 1, California 0. The thing they changed is the stuff on my Twitch page. They changed the clock where they put the clock. Used to be I'd have how many were watching, followers, and subs. And now I get the clock for the pre-roll-off, which will get set when we have the commercial break in a minute. Then the bit rate, like I care about that. My followers, the session clock, which means I've been streaming for 23 minutes. My subs, my viewers, and total views. And thanks to you guys, we've had 1,352 views on Twitch. Bostic is 0 for 1. Pitch from right, ground ball to Burleson, over to first, and there's 1 out. Taylor and I will not be registering at Toys R Us. Joe Rudy is 0 for 1. He struck out. The lone strikeout victim is for right. My wife would probably pay to get me out of here. Yes, she's absolutely okay with it. Sarah says, and this is, and I'm not making this up, Ron, you can run off with any woman you want. As soon as you gotta go to the bathroom, they're gonna bring you back. I will certainly do football games with the 2020 version when it comes out, and the fall goes well. It's about 3 weeks. Just finished up our 86 replay, and fans of a certain team from New England are quite happy with what I did. Pitch to Rudy is a ground ball up the middle. Remy over to Scott for the out. 2 out for Fairley, who's 0 for 1. Right, 2 out. There's a little ground ball in the hole on the right side. Evans will get it, and so Ron's got a hit. 2 for the Angels, 2 for the Red Sox. Carlton Fisk has the lone run. He had a solo shot in the second. Brings up Ron Jackson, who's 0 for 1. Pitch to Jackson. There's a ground ball to short. Burleson flips it to Remy for the force, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 3.5, it's the Red Sox 1, the Angels nothing. And no, I'm really not doing anything with Taylor Swift. First of all, I gotta be a good 22 years older than she is. And second of all, I'm a triple Z-list YouTube star. Which means that, I had my supernova about 2 years ago. Jim Rice is 0 for 1. Yastrzemski and Fisk to follow here in the bottom of the 4th. And Rice hits a ground ball to Grich. And Grich can't hold on to it. He picks it up. Rice is not blessed with speed, and he's thrown out. So Grich couldn't find the handle. By the time he did, I don't think Rice saw him bumble it. And so it's 4-3, and Don Zimmer has a few words for Mr. Rice as he gets back in the dugout. You can't dog those. That should have been an error. Here's Yastrzemski. 0 for 1. Pitch to Carl, and that's up the middle past a diving Grich. And now the Rice mental error really stings because there's 1 on and 1 out for Carlton Fisk. Fisk homered into the monster. His first time up now is 9 on the year and driven in 35. And that's in the left center field. Back goes Rudy. It's gone. So Carlton Fisk makes it 3-0. His 10th of the year. And again, that is in the screen in left center. And so the Red Sox, after blowing last night's game, liking their chances now. It's 3-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. Here's Freddie Lynn. He's 0 for 1. So Fisk now hitting .341. All 3 runs have come on Carlton Fisk's home runs. Pitch from Knapp. Lynn strikes out. He swung on and missed a 2-2 fastball. So that's 2 for Knapp. And 2 out for Scott, who doubled his first time up. 4 hits for Boston, 2 for California. Here's the pitch, and that's into center field. Bostic will pick it up. Scott's motoring for 2. He's there. He slides, and he's safe. So Knapp, not real thrilled with his defense. Here's Dwight Evans. He's 0 for 1. Knapp at 57 pitches, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Evans in the center. Bostic towards right center. Makes the catch to retire the side. The Sox strand 1, but they get 2 on the 2-run shot by Pudge Fisk. On 3 hits and no errors. We've played 4 at Fenway. It's the Red Sox 3, the Angels nothing. So Soleada, Chalk, and Downing to face right here in the 5th. Tony singled one of the 2 hits the Angels have. Pitch from right, and he now has 2 hits as he punches that one into left center, and he'll get himself a single. So Dave Chalk playing for the bunt now. Scott and Hobson come in, and yep, Carlton Fisk 3, the Angels nothing. Can't claim credit for that in Chicago. Not just yet. And Chalk strikes out, and they don't bunt him. I'm surprised. A 1-2 just below the belt, and that's 1 out for Brian Downing, who's 0 for 1. So do we all get wedding invitations? No. But if you're lucky, I'll send you the honeymoon tape. Here's right, the face Downing. And there's a ground ball base hit right side. Remy didn't get a good dive on that play, and the Angels have runners on first and second and 1 out for Landreau. So right, through 18 batters, 60 pitches, 4 1/3 innings, 4 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Landreau's 0 for 1 with a walk. And that's up the middle for a base hit, so Liata will hold at third, and the Angels have loaded the bases for the ever-dangerous Bobby Grich. So Soleada on third, Downing on second, could score on a single. There's only one out. And Landreau on first, who does have good speed. Wright's pitch, and there's a ground ball to Hobson. They're going to try for two. Remy for one. Over to Scott. And Grich beat it out. So Soleada scores. It's 3-1. Downing moves to third. And Grich, who does not have good stolen base speed, on first for Bostic. Or Stock, who was 0 for 2. Pitch from Wright. Ground ball to Remy, and that ate him up. So that's an E4. That hit off his glove, bounded into Wright. That will score Downing, and it's 3-2. So the Angels are making this one interesting in a hurry. But only one run is earned. Here's Joe Rudy, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Bostock on first, Grich on second. Runners go, and Rudy homers. Joe Rudy just sent that one in past the bullpens in right center, and the Angels go up 5-3. Wright, who was pretty disgusted with himself before that, just hangs his head on the mound. And for Rudy, that's his 8th of the year. He just hung that curveball. And so 5 runs and 4 are unearned thanks to Jerry Remy. So there's still 2 out for Ron Fairley, who's 1 for 2. And again, here's a perfect example of why the Red Sox just could not put things away in the 1970s. Pitch to Fairley. Struck him out, and that's the inning. But the Angels get 5 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. No, I just grew up with this team. I know all about it, Robbie. Halfway home, California 5, Boston 3. Time for the break right here on Retro Sports Network. Well, it's been a game of homers. Carlton Fisk has driven in 3. Joe Rudy has 2. That error was huge on Remy as the Angels score 5. So Jim Wright, 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, only 1 earned. And Knapp now is sitting in line for the win as we start the bottom of the 5th. Hobson, Burleson, and Remy. Butch is 0 for 1. Pitch from Knapp. Strike 3. It gets away from Downing. He throws to first, and that will be an out. So it goes on the card, 2-3. Rick Burleson's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Knapp threw 18 batters. 4 1/3 innings. 5 hits. The 2 homers to Fisk. All 3 runs are earned, and he has struck out 3. TurboTax, you got plenty of time to get that in now. And Instinct smartwatches. Give me my penny for this game. That's interesting. I wonder who makes them. Probably. I wouldn't watch. This isn't the Dick Tracy thing. I wouldn't watch the game on the phone or on my watch. Burleson's 0 for 2. He's 0 for 3 now as Knapp got him on a 1-2 fastball in the inside corner at 95. Tribe fan got Butterfinger. Hey, you better lay your fingers off my Butterfinger. And Final Fantasy. Which just means going out and coughing on your next door neighbor, right? Jerry Remy's 0 for 2. Pitch. Ground ball to short. Chalk to Fairley, and that will retire the side. Boston goes down in order. After 5, it's the Angels 5, the Red Sox 3. So Jackson, Soleada, and Chalk here to start the 6th inning. Right at 74 pitches. Pitch count's not a problem. But this was the era of 25 players and 25 cabs, and I'm sure Wright and Remy are not on good speaking terms right now. Pitch to Jackson is a ground ball to Hobson. Snap throw to first. And it gets away from Scott. And so Hobson commits the error. That goes high in the stand. How the heck did that hit Chuck Knobloch's mother? Oh my goodness, she got plunked in the head. So Jackson reaches second on the error. We're sorry, Mrs. Knobloch. And that brings up Soleada, who is singled twice. The smartwatches are kind of cool if you're into that sort of thing, Robbie. Pitch to Tony. Struck him out. Right. Kind of looks like the bull from those Bugs Bunny cartoons. He's just steaming out there. And Soleada swung on and missed an 0-2 curveball. 1 out for Chalk, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. That's 4 for Wright, by the way. Pitch. And there's a ground ball to Scott. Takes the bag himself. Jackson goes to third. And there's 2 out for Brian Downing, who has singled and scored. He's 1 for 2. So Wright could get through this unscathed if he can get Mr. Downing. Pitch. It's into right center field. Lind can run, and he makes a diving catch on the grass. He laid right out and made the catch, and the Angels go down after the error. No runs, no hits, and 1 error. We played 5.5. It's 5-3 California. Here's Jim Rice. Jim leads the majors in homers with 23. 0 for 2 this evening. Pitch from Knapp. Popped up. Downing takes off the mask. 1 out. For Yaz, who singled and scored, he's 1 for 2. Pitch from Knapp. And there's a line drive to Grich. 2 out. Well, so let's see what Carlton Fisk has up his bag of tricks. He can't hit a 2-run shot with nobody on base. But he now has 10 homers on a year. He's hitting .341, and he's driven in now 37. Here's the pitch, and there's a fly ball to left that will stay in the yard. Rudy will make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 7th. It's still the Angels 5, the Red Sox 3. So Wright, through 27 batters, has only thrown 87 pitches through 6. 6 hits. The home run by Rudy has walked 1 and struck out 4, although the Angels have 5 runs. Only 1 is charged to Wright in the earned run column, thanks to Jerry Remy's bad error in the 5th. Pitch to Landreau is a ground ball to Burleson. Over to Scott, 1 out. Burleson went to his left by the bag and made the play. Bobby Grich is 0 for 3. Has his 30th RBI, and he scored a run. Wright's pitch, and that's a base hit left center field. Yastrzemski will grab it on the Texas Leaguer, and there's 1 out for Bostock, who is 0 for 3 with a run scored. Hope you're enjoying this. Top the 7th inning. The Angels 5, the Red Sox 3. Bostock has a run scored. Fisk and Wright chat. Change some signs around. Bostock into right center field. That's a base hit. Grich will go to third. And the Angels have runners in the corners and 1 out. For Joe Rudy, had the big blow in the 5th. 1 for 3 with a homer, his 8th, and a strikeout. Pitch from Wright, And that goes into center field. Lynn should have it. Gritch will tag and score without a throw. And it's now 6-3 California. So the Red Sox have got their work cut out against Mr. Knapp. Here's Ron Fairley. He has singled and struck out. Pitch to Ron. There goes Bostock. It goes into center field. He'll motor to third on the single. So Lynn will pick it up, and that's a 9th hit for the Angels. So we're going to have to see in a moment here about the bullpen, because Jim Wright's not thrown a 2-hitter today. Here's Ron Jackson. He's 0 for 3. Bostock and Fairley on. Lyman on third. Ronnie on first. Pitch from Wright. Jackson, ground ball to deep in the hole. Burleson goes to first and retires Jackson. Stretch time, another run on 3 hits and no errors. 6-3 Halos. John Kiley is so talented on the organ he can play 2 songs at once. Imagine that. Here's Freddie Lynn. 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Scott and Evans to follow, and Hobson should anybody reach. Knapp starts the bottom of the 7th. The ground ball to Gritch in the hole over to Fairley for the out, 1 away. So Knapp, let's see if I can get the reverse jinx here, pitching well. And the Angels would love to stay in first place. George Scott has doubled twice. He's 2 for 2. Pitch from Knapp. And that one is gone. Down the line and left. All Rudy could do is turn and watch it go, and it's 6-4. Scott got a lot of arc on that, and it just went right down the line, and there wasn't a blessed thing Joe Rudy could do. So that's the 3rd for the Boomer. He's 3 for 3. And it's a 2-run game. 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Angels. They've stranded 6. The Red Sox, 4 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors. And left 2 on. Here's Dewey. Dwight is 0 for 2. Up the middle, Bostock is there for the out. We're trying, Robbie. We're trying. That wind has calmed down a bit. Now it's 17, straight out to dead center. Butch Hobson is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Pitch from Knapp. Little roller to short. Chalk throws it across the way, and Hobson is retired. 2 out, or 3 out. Aha! But the Red Sox get a solo shot from George Scott. A run and a hit, no errors. We go to the 8th. It's the Halos 6, the Bo Sox 4. So Soliata is 2 for 3. 2 singles, a run, and a strikeout. Right at 99 pitches. Not even showing fatigue yet. Pitch to Tony. Up the middle, and Tony, have yourself a day. That's his 3rd hit. He's 3 for 4. And now bring up Chalk. Red Sox infield playing back. Chalk is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Wright's pitch. Little ground ball to first. Scott underhands it to Wright. Soliata goes to second. Surprised Scott didn't try for the double play. But Soliata has no speed. So runner on first is a runner trying to get to first is out in Chalk. Soliata moves up to second. Brian Downing is 1 for 3. Has singled and scored. 6-4 Halos. 10 hits now for California. Downing, ground ball to third. Hobson looks back. Soliata throws to first, and Downing is retired. 2 out. Burleson, Remy, and Rice in the bottom of the 8th. Landreau 1 for 3. Pitch to Kenny. is a ground ball to short that plays Burleson. He went to take it out of his glove and realized he didn't have it in the glove. It skipped one way. He took his eyes off the ball. Soleada goes to third. Landro's on first. That's the third Red Sox error. And 37 batters into this performance, right at 111 pitches, 7 2/3 innings, 10 hits. The homer to Rudy, 6 runs, 2 earned. He has walked 1 and struck out 4. Bobby Grich is 1 for 4. He has singled, scored twice, and has an RBI. Pitch to Grich, struck him out, and Wright is mumbling to himself as he heads back to the dugout. California cannot score. They leave 2 on the run on the hit and the error. We go to the bottom of the 8th at 6-4. Drat. So it'll be Burleson, Remy, and Rice. 27 batters deep for Knapp. 100 pitches, 7 innings. 6 hits, 3 home runs, 2 by Fisk and 1 by Scott, which is different from 1 if by land and 2 if by sea. And no walks and 4 strikeouts, so a good outing for Knapp. Burleson struck out twice. He's 0 for 3. Knapp's pitch, ground ball to short. Chalk over to first for the out as I spit all over the keyboard. So they're playing for a bunt for Remy here, which I'm not going to do. Jerry is 0 for 3. Knapp's delivery, little ground ball. Grich to Knapp, who's going to cover, and Remy looks like he got a late starter out of the box, and there's 2 out. So the Red Sox are making base running blunders that lead to outs. Here's Jim Rice. He's 0 for 3. Pitch from Knapp. Rice into right field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. He's digging for third. The throw to Papa Jack is not in time. So Rice put that one past Landro, and that rolled around in that corner in right field. Remember, there are essentially football bleachers out there, and Rice can run. And so by the time that Landro fished it out, Rice was almost at second. So here's Carl. Yaz is 1 for 3. He has singled and scored. Pitch from Knapp, and Yastrzemski liner to left, right to Joe Rudy. And the Red Sox cannot score. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the 9th at 6-4, California. So 67 degrees as we approach the 9th inning. Angels have left 8 on. The Red Sox have only stranded 3. Bostock, Rudy, and Fairley to face Wright. Bostock 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored. Pitch from Lyman, or to Lyman, is a fly ball to shallow right and foul. So somebody from Beverly wearing a Bruins jersey makes that catch. I wonder who that is. Count as a ball and 2 strikes. Wright delivers. Bostock into right center. Lynn will come in, and Lynn makes a snow cone catch. Hot potato time. He had it, he didn't, he had it, he didn't, and he came down with it in the webbing of his glove. For a 1 out. After the game, don't forget the Digital Dice post-game show. A look at the rest of the day in baseball and what we're playing tomorrow at noon Eastern. Joe Rudy, 1 for 3. He's had himself a day, a home run and 4 RBI. Driven in 4 of the 6 California runs. Pitch from Wright. Rudy into right center. Rear goes Lynn. And Freddie Lynn must have ran 35 yards to make that catch in the gap. What a run by Lynn. 2 out for Fairley, who was 2 for 4. He has singled twice and struck out. And so through all this, I mean, Jim Wright has faced every batter, but his pitch count's only at 123. Pitch to Fairley. Into right. Evans makes the catch to retire the side. Dyer Miller is coming in to shut down the Red Sox. We go to the bottom of the ninth. It's 6-4, California. So Miller is looking for his second save of the year. He is a fastball pitcher at 87. He specializes in the ground ball. He's 1-2 with a save and an ERA of 1.63. His 16th appearance, he pitched against the Red Sox last night. 3 innings, no decision, 3 hits, a run it was earned. He walked one and struck out one. And so against the Red Sox, 3 times out, 4 1/3 innings, 3 hits, an ERA of 2.14, and the Sox are hitting 2.14, 2.08 ERA, and the Sox are hitting 2.14 off him. So it's Fisk who's 2 for 3. He's homered twice. Lynn and Scott, 6-4, Halos, bottom of the ninth. Fisk swings into center. Bostock, 1 out. Freddie is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Evans would bat if anybody should reach. Pitch from Miller. Ground ball. Chalk way over by third. Throws to Fairley, and Lynn is out on a bang-banger. So the Red Sox are down to their last out. You guys are quiet today. Brings up George Scott, who is 3 for 3. He has doubled twice and homered. His 3rd of the year. And he's driven in 15. Evans on deck if the game is extended. Pitch from Miller. Scott to third. Jackson across the way. And the Angels are gonna win the ballgame. So the Angels win 6-4. So Dyer Miller will get the save. Joe Rudy is our digital dice player of the game. His home run was huge, and he drove in 4 of the 6. So Knapp, however, pitched very well. Thank you, Stewart. 9-3 is Chris Knapp. 8 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned. The 3 homers. He struck out 4. He had plus stuff a minute. He showed it. He really had a good game. Dyer Miller goes for the save. He got a clean bottom of the ninth. Jim Wright faced 41 batters and only threw 125 pitches. 9 innings, 10 hits, 6 runs, 2 earned. The homer to Rudy, that pretty much was the killer. No problem, Elon. And he walked 1 and struck out 5. All right, let's do it. Time to see my ugly mug and play the rest of the day in baseball. The Reds beat the Cubs 5-4. Pedro Borbon goes to 4-1. George Foster with his 12th of the year. Toronto. Oh, now I gotta wait for things to stop moving. Toronto 6, Minnesota 3. Bailey Moore goes to 3-3. Only a couple things I got to watch out for, including one right here. Preston Hanna, 7 2/3 innings, 6 strikeouts. Atlanta beats St. Louis 4-1. Jeff Burrows with his 8th of the year. Baltimore 5, Seattle 4. Mike Flanagan goes to 7-6. The A's beat the Yankees 7-2. Ed Figueroa goes to 6-7. Gary Thomason 2 for 4 with a triple. Detroit shuts out Milwaukee. Jim Slayton, a 3-hitter. 8 strikeouts, he walked 2, and Alan Trammell 2 RBI. 4-0 the final at Tiger Stadium. Texas beats Kansas City 6-3 and 10. Doyle Alexander goes to 6-3. Richie Zisk hits his 11th. Pittsburgh beats Houston. I believe that's tomorrow's game. Jim Bibby goes to 4-0. Frank Tavares 4 for 6 for the triple. Chicago beats Cleveland 8-4. Wilbur Wood gets the win. Minnesota downs Toronto in the second game of a doubleheader. Jeff Zahn goes to 8-4. The final score, that one's 4-3. Dodgers beat the Phillies 5-2. Don Sutton goes to 8-5. Billy Russell was not tired. He goes 3 for 4 with 3 doubles and 2 RBI. San Diego beat the Mets 4-1. Bob Ochinko goes to 3-8. Raleigh Fingers with his 10th save. And Montreal beat San Francisco 2-1. Rudy May goes to 6-4. Garman picks up the save. And so it is indeed Pittsburgh and Houston noontime tomorrow. Pittsburgh's lead over Philadelphia is 2.5. Montreal 4. In the West, the Dodgers by a 1.5 over Houston. In the American League East, the Yankees by a half game, just 1 in the loss column over the Orioles. 3 over Milwaukee, 4 over Boston. And California's spread is now 3 in the win column over Kansas City by a 1.5 games. That's right. Well, I just want the royalties. Doubleheader, by the way, for Milwaukee and Toronto. They must have gotten snowed out at one point. All right. Dave Gardner support chat tonight. Then we do some training stuff. TB Pauly, thank you so much for watching. Glad to have you along. So busy night tonight. We'll see you then. Take care of each other. Talk to you soon.